That's downstairs.
Good evening, everyone. Welcome to Gene and No Chip. Because obviously you guys know when Liverpool get beat and Gene's on the show, Avi doesn't turn up. But you know what? I'm here and I'm joined by, the three musketeers today. I'm joined by Ben. I'm joined by Asim as we go through the pre-match build-up to Liverpool versus Tottenham Hotspurs. Guys, first and foremost, smash that like button. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't done already. Ben, start off with you, mate. You came in first. You're always on time. You're never late. The guy down here turns up, when he wants, whenever he wants, 10 minutes late. And, you get the comments, where are you guys? TikTok, standard, late again, born and late. It's all down to this guy at the bottom. But big up, Ben. You're always on time. How are you, mate?
I'm very well, thank you, mate. Good to see you back from the gates of hell. The what's called the new tactic of 9:45 is working a treat because actually secretly we all want to go live at 10 o'clock.
We're 4 minutes early.
Exactly. That we all want to go live at 10 o'clock. So the only way to go live at 10 o'clock is to all be ready roughly for around 9:45. And it takes us about 10 minutes to get going because we've got so much prep and professional analysis to do before the show 100%. Starts. Then we need to have that. We need to be ready to go. So 10 o'clock, here we are, 3 minutes early. So I'm all in. I'm all in on it, boys. But yeah, I'm very well. Thank you, mate.
And also, Ben, Gene, didn't even know he was hosting up until about 2 minutes ago. So we need the prep time as well.
Absolutely. We need the prep. He thought it was Chip and Sheen, didn't he? About 30 seconds ago.
Look at my intro. Yeah, I don't need no prep talk. Yeah, my intro, proved to everybody I don't need to prep. Right, so we just go in with it and see what happens. Well, Asim, I'll come to you. How are you? I've seen your tweets today about Liverpool and all that type of stuff. What's going on?
Have I tweeted today?
Was it yesterday? You tweeted one of your old tweets.
Oh, yeah, because you know what, Gene? There's a bit of a discussion going on along the Liverpool space about, and there's a lot of graphics, still images. And obviously, those are from games. I'm not saying everything's against. I'm not going and lambasting still images, but I'm always a bit reluctant to just get one image and say, this is how Liverpool are playing. Because I can guarantee you can pick the best sides in the world when they're winning European Cups and league titles, and you can get a still image and you can say, this is wrong. Well, obviously, if you've got 90 minutes of football, no team is perfect. No team is going to be in the perfect position and structure for 90 minutes. Am I saying Liverpool have got the perfect structure? Far from it. Far from it. But I think we're too fixated with those still images and thinking this is the root cause of Liverpool's demise when we forget or we're not concentrating on why we're getting into those positions rather than, this is a consequence and we're tearing our head out. I think that's where people are either not even going or discussing it or absolutely just missing the point. And I'm not gonna lie. This is a manager that has won a league title. This is a manager who has got good principles. If you're not a good coach, you just don't win a league title. You can come to me and say it was a Jurgen Klopp squad, it was a Jurgen Klopp side, this and that. I don't give a shit. It was Arne Slot. Regardless of what you think of the manager, I am Slot out. But I'm just not going to go crazy and just pin every single Liverpool problem on him. That's not me. And I might not be popular when I say that. Yes, I want a new manager. But just to say that this guy has no clue at all in terms of being a coach, do you think he won the title without having good principles when it comes to on the ball or off the ball, some off the ball structures as well at times? And I said it at the start of the season when Liverpool were having their problems back in October, back in November, when Liverpool were playing shite. And I generally made a general statement. And I said, generally speaking, on the ball, Liverpool's problems are down to the profile of player. Off the ball, a lot of it, generally speaking, is down to the manager. And I just retweeted that. And that's where I go back to those still images. When people see our midfield of having no midfielder, we're forgetting, or we're not even discussing why we're getting into those positions, rather than just saying, oh, look at this, we've got no midfield, and Arnie Slot is clueless. Yes, obviously it's his job to fix it. We have to sympathize with the fact that some of those reasons why we're getting into those positions is simply we just don't have certain profile of players, and it's causing false fluidity, that I termed it 2-3 weeks ago, and that's where we're not discussing the point. So yeah, I retweeted that, and I was gonna write a few more per che, but I didn't have time, so I just thought I'd keep it short and sweet.
Ben, obviously with that, what Asim said, I'll come to you because I'll have your take on it. Look, you've been probably on what everybody on this channel, bar Avi, flip flops anyway, but you were, adamant and stick with Arne Slot. And then especially over the last few months, I think, you're probably more Arne Slot than anybody, if we're honest. You're, in terms of regardless of what happens, you think, he's taken this club as far as he can, sort of thing, in terms of the way. I think it's more to do with the way we play the game, what Liverpool fans expect. You're just bored of the way, this Liverpool side is playing right now. And I asked him the question yesterday, and I'll come to you with the same one, Ben, is Liverpool, we sit here, and, having a go at every single midfielder right now. Let's be honest. We had Asim and you were on the show, and Avi having it out regarding Dominic Szoboszlai. We've sat here blasting.
I was sort of on the show.
Yeah, sort of on that show. Yeah, and then you've got McAllister, Ben, who's literally fallen off a cliff. You've got Curtis Jones, who's probably once out by the looks of it. Gravenberch, who's, let's be honest, been nowhere near good enough, and probably we'll all sit here and say, nah, we don't want him in the sixth anymore. You've read literally, and none of these players are 30 plus years old. So let's make that clear. These guys are probably in their prime. Yeah, 24, 25, 26, and them sort of ages. And we're sat here, these same three players that we've mentioned, one was a league title, like Arne Slot did. But we're sat here now, only 12 months, 8 months ago, 12 months in now, and we're sat here saying practically all of them are not good enough.
Yeah.
Is that on the players, or are we sat here giving too much onus, giving too much crap to the players, and not to Arne Slot? Because I hear a lot of this of he doesn't have the players. It's not his fault McAllister's fallen off a cliff. It's not his fault Gravenberch is not a six. We weren't saying that last year. So all of a sudden we're blaming players and not the manager as much. Where do you sit with this?
It's a fascinating debate. It really is, because, I don't think it's anywhere near as simple as he's good in this position and then he's not good in this position, or he's good off the ball, he's good out of possession, he's struggling this, we haven't got the profile that. I think it's actually quite deep rooted, to be honest. I think we don't give anywhere near enough credit or enough credence to the idea that there's a mentality thing as well. I think right from the beginning of pre-season, when we sadly lost Jota, in my head, or from what I can gather, pre-season pretty much stopped at that point, and we didn't continue pre-season. We fulfilled the fixtures, but I don't think there was any intensity or any level of drive or enthusiasm or energy around pre-season. And I think right from that very beginning, they've gone into the season, and we've done it a million times. You can break the season down. The first few games, we won them, and everyone was like, we're going to walk the league here. But that was a false dawn, because we weren't playing well and we were getting results. And then all of a sudden, it really hit home to roost, the situation that we were in, because we went on that terrible run. And then I think collectively, the team and the manager and the club were like, shit, we've got a problem here. We're all still mourning Jota. We're all still playing catch up. We're all still in a bit of a funk from the end of last season. We won the league, so it's like beach time, Ibiza time, and they just never really snapped out of it. And then they had that big sort of meetings within the dressing room, talks with the players and stuff like that. And then Slot did his part by basically parking the bus and then turning us into this sort of like turgid defensive, anti-football sort of team where we would just find a way of getting results, but to stop the rot. Go on a run of like unbeaten, but it was the most depressing unbeaten run of all time. And then gradually over the course of the last 2 months, 3 months since the turn of the year, there's been a significant upturn in results and the performances have got slightly better. But then there've been, for every 2-3 good performances or good results, then there's been like, a Bournemouth, a Wolves, a Manchester City, and then a Galatasaray. So there's never been any sort of real momentum, any sort of real sort of feel-good factor, any sort of enthusiasm. And where I'm at personally, I think that Arne Slot is a good manager without a shadow of a doubt. I actually think...
delete him. Sorry,
go on. What?
Carry on, mate.
Sorry. If you give Slot the exact profile players that he wants in the summer to make up the transition, i.e. the 2 wingers, maybe the what's called the specialised 6, another centre back, etc., I think he could challenge for a league next season and potentially even win a league next season. But the problem I've got, and a lot of people are saying it, it's like, it's not necessarily I want to be entertained, but it's the feel good factor. And I just feel as though I don't think Slot's a bad manager, but if there's an upgrade, and that's the word I'm using now, I'm not like Slot out, we need a new manager. I'm just thinking an upgrade. I'm just thinking if there's somebody better on the market than Slot, then I'm all for it. And I've read a few sort of pieces from different journalists and stuff. And I saw a tweet the other day from somebody who speaks really well, and he said something along the lines of, I think he put a video of an interview with Klopp, and they were asking about his philosophy. What's your philosophy? And Klopp, like, my philosophy is probably not great because it's not the best, it's not the most sensible philosophy. But my philosophy is, if you leave the ground and you can't wait to watch the team again, then you do that in successive runs where game after game after game, or regularly you go out of the ground and you can't wait to watch the team again, then you'll be successful. And that's essentially what Klopp created. There was times when it was down, but ultimately you came out of the ground thinking, oh my word, I can't wait to watch the Reds again. You may not have won, you may have even lost, but generally speaking, it was an enthralling experience, and it was a movement, and it was a feeling to get behind, and it was everybody was singing from the same hymn sheet. And quite the opposite at the moment, that you can play really well and still think we might lose the game after. You can play really bad and then think, you know what, I don't know what's coming next. It's just the
unknown, and had that feeling of not, just feeling as though, the future is bleak.
What is it we're doing here? Like, what adventure are we on here? What's the challenge here? We will get results, we will win, we will lose, we might even challenge or win a trophy. But it's like, it doesn't feel like it's got any sort of real sort of purpose or direction behind it. And that's what I would like. And I think somebody like Xabi Alonso or somebody like Luis Enrique would give you that direction and that purpose and that dynamism and that excitement again. And that's where I'm at with it now.
Can I ask you a question? And it's an interesting point. I saw that clip as well. Where you talk about Jurgen Klopp talking about how the fans would be looking forward to the next game. What was the thing that we connected with Jurgen Klopp in terms of his philosophy? It was the counter press, wasn't it? It was the Gegenpressing.
Yes.
Where you listen to every single player under that was managed under him, and I think Trent's overlap interview with Gary Neville, and he's not the only guy. Where you read Linders's book, and it was basically the counter press was where you're encouraged in a way to lose the ball. and then you
Yeah.
swarm
And then you
swarm
pounce.
then you pounce and you win that ball up high up the field. Can this team play like Jurgen Klopp? Can it have or incorporate the Jurgen press into this team? Because
No.
if that's the thing that connected us with the Jurgen Klopp side, then even if Jurgen Klopp was coaching this particular team, would he be able to do that? Would he be able to press like his team with these set of players, man?
No, and this is where I said about it being a fascinating thing, because I think they've sat there and thought there is no other Jurgen Klopp out there. There's other managers that like to press and have a high pressing tempo, but this manager, which is what they chose to replace Klopp, and I don't think for 1 second that they thought Slot was going to be like a 1 year interim and then he'd be gone sort of thing. I think they were all in on him and thought, right, okay, what is it that he needs, or what is it his style? And his style essentially is a lot more possession, but it's a lot more sort of conservative, and it's a lot more sort of less transitional, to be honest. It's supposed to be not basketball style football, and the things that are good about that is that he tends to play the same team, generally speaking, and therefore he doesn't pick up a lot of injuries. One of his big traits is that he doesn't he has a great track record of injuries. Now he has that because they're not running around like lunatics like Jurgen Klopp's team were, to be perfectly honest, and that is the factor. But Klopp also recruited like machines, like genuine machines, like your Gini Wijnaldums, your Robertsons, your Firminos, your Manes, who could literally just play every 3 days, and that was the end of it. And now all of a sudden we're in an era where the game has gone even more physical than what it was in Klopp's era. And you just can't really do that, to be honest. But you look at the players that we've recruited, like you start with Isaac for the start. He couldn't be more different to Bobby Firmino if you put chalk and cheese together sort of thing. He's not a presser at all. He's a clinical, lethal finisher. So the only way to get the best out of him is to provide him with the tools to do that. And well, obviously he's not even on the pitch himself at the moment, but in order to do that, we've gone from the facilitator is the centre forward, and then the providers is the wide men, and now we're going to switch from the facilitators is the wide men and the provider is the central man. I include Ekitike in that as well, and Vert hopefully behind him. So it is a huge transition, and I have thought to myself this season, I think, don't get me wrong, there's lots of things that could have gone better this season, and the performances definitely could and should have been better. But I actually think about it now. If you look at the profile of our squad, then I don't know whether another manager, even dare I say an Alonso and Enrique, or even a Klopp, would have been able to mount a serious title challenge and Champions League challenge with the huge deficiencies that we've got in the team. Because as Asim said, Klopp couldn't play his style with this team because it's just different. It's missing so many of the profiles that he would require. But the difference is that we would play well. You would feel like we would play well. And our interpretation of playing well is, it's very hard to sort of like say it and without trying to be a big mathematician or statistician, but we know as football fans what playing well looks like. And there's been so many games this season when we've just not played well, generally not played well. I can probably count on 1 or 2 hands the number of halves maybe that we've played well this season. And I reckon it's 10 or less halves of football. I don't think we played well 90 minutes all season. I can't think of one game, 90 minutes, where we played well all season. And that's a damning statement.
Where, and I think Gene will want to come into this as well, where I would criticize the manager at the end of the season. At the end of the day, he built a lot of clout. Even to his surprise, our surprise, I think Gene was the only guy from our panel to say Liverpool were going to win the league last season, but nobody else predicted it. So it was a great surprise. But even then, after that, you built a lot of credibility amongst the fan base, a lot of trust amongst the hierarchy. So when you're around that negotiation table, I'm not saying these guys were bad players. They were at a right age. It's the model that we we follow. And I'm sure all these players that we bought last year are going to be really good players because we've seen it in bits, not as much as that we like to see, but in bits. Some more than others, of course. But in terms of where, if you're going to say that I'm not too different to Jurgen Klopp, I still like to play high press. He was even chatting about his high press last week, even though I tweeted that I beg to differ. I don't think Liverpool have a press, and even if it's high on the pitch, it's still very, very passive and half-hearted, where we just get sliced open whenever we really, really go for it as well, because it's not in packs. It's just like one or two go, and then the other ones are looking over their shoulder. But where Klopp did well is, yes, he might not have had the players straight away. He recognized that, the likes of Benteke and all these guys are not my players. And he brought Bobby into that false nine position and revitalized, and he was the catalyst to Liverpool's success, especially with that dynamic trio up front, where what you could argue in terms of Arne Slot, yes, he's won the league, but in terms of his pressing and his principles, that he said, like, I'm so similar to Jurgen Klopp, where I do get the pressing from his philosophy, but I'm a bit more controlled and all that stuff. He's more of a modern coach compared to what we're used to, or what we were used to seeing with Jurgen Klopp. Then you've gone backwards. You've taken those principles out. You saw the likes of Luis Diaz, whether he's on the left wing, whether he was on a false nine position playing, obviously slightly different to the Bobby Firmino role, but effectively the same role. Then you had the likes of Jota and Nunes. So yes, it might not have been all his decisions to let those guys go, but at the end of the day, if they were your core principles and you've just won the league, you've got enough clout and credibility to tell the hierarchy, no, I need these players. You might be looking on the stat pad where this guy is scoring 17 goals per season and he's giving 17 assists a season. He's creating the X amount of chances. But like I've been talking about over the last 2, 3, 4 months, so you can't quantify intensity. You really can't, especially that mentality. That is the main thing you can't quantify. And I thought the counter press to Jurgen Klopp's essence, the secret of it was instilling that mentality. Obviously, he'd had to have the right mentality, but he'd take the player from here to here, especially off the ball, where they'd literally kill for him. They'd literally die for him on the pitch.
And that is the difference. That is the biggest difference. And I'm going to mention a player that, if I'm honest with you, when we signed him, I thought, you know what, brilliant player. Within a year, 18 months, I thought, you know what, he's a good player, and that's about it. And that's Adam Lallana. That lad became one of the best pressers I have seen. Honestly, for Liverpool Football Club, he was that good. Yes, he might have given us 70 minutes, but there was a 6-month period in Klopp's tenure at the start when Adam Lallana was literally, probably, you could say, one of the first names on that team sheet. Who would have thought that guy can press? Let's be honest. Before Jurgen Klopp came, was that guy a presser? Did we even consider him as a pressing monster? No, we didn't.
He'd die for 70 minutes and he'd get a hug after 70 minutes.
This is what I'm saying. Because why? Because it's what these great managers do with certain players. You get an extra 20% out of them. Michael Carrick, he's not a great manager. Let's be honest, he's just come in. Manchester United were absolute crap before he came in, right? But they've got a run of results. Some will say, yeah, they've been lucky in a few games. All right, fair play. They've been lucky. But a new manager does bring in something. We're talking about the great managers here, like with the Jurgen Klopps, Enrique's. Okay, Alonso's not great, but he's a good manager, and most of us want him. I'm a bit slightly skeptical, but you guys want him. I'd still believe he would be able to do a lot better than Arne Slot, because I don't believe he would bloody give up 45 minutes of football in every single game. And that's the difference with Arne Slot this season. Yes, the hierarchy in Arne Slot, probably Asim's been speaking about it, got it wrong in terms of where this league was going. That's on the manager and the board. Yeah. That's not on anybody else. That's not on the players. Just because you've signed players that don't fit a pressing structure, just because you signed players that don't match the physicality of this league, don't blame the players then. You blame the manager for not getting it right. You blame the board for signing players that were not fit for this Premier League. So yes, we will have a go at the players. They were shy against Wolves. They were shy against Galatasaray. So yeah, we blame the players for the game. but I'm not going to blame the players for the season. That's on the manager. The season's on the manager. You can pinpoint games and say, yeah, players' fault, players' fault, players' fault. But ultimately, the season, you have to point the fingers at the manager, and because he's ultimately responsible for this football club in terms of how we set up. None of us agree with the setup in these games. None of us agree with the football that we've played. The press is non-existent. The counter press is shite. Our defensive traits are whack. Let's be honest. We don't have them. People slice through us. Like, we're not even there. We get beat by every single side that's in the bottom half of the table. If not, at least get a result against us. This is on the manager. And I'm sorry,
You know what else is interesting as well, Gene, is that people have to remember as well as to where the timeline is, because like when Klopp come in, we were an 8th, 9th place team who had no real expectations, and he had the time to be able to build us up to where we obviously ultimately became, which was a great team. Whereas the situation for Slot is that he's had to come in and, the expectations are completely different, i.e., to get into the Champions League when Klopp come in was like the goal. Now it's the minimum requirement, and that's the shift over the course of the last 5, 6, 7 years. That's what Klopp's done. He's put us back in, at that level. But Slot now, he's had to rip it up and start again to a certain degree. And you've got a transition of old to new, i.e. old players coming to the end of the career and new players joining the club. So I do have sympathy from that in that respect, because I think whoever the manager was in, this year would have struggled, because it is, as I say, it's a transition because you're building your own team. So building your own team while still being competitive is a challenge, I think, in itself. And Arteta is probably going to win the league this season, but he certainly wasn't ready to win the league over the last 2-3 years. He had time to build it up to where he's got to, and they get with him and he stuck with him, and that's the ultimate sort of example. But at the same time, you've still got to see signs of the journey and improvements, and okay, we're missing this, we're missing that, but there's where we're going, and here's a great result or a great performance to show. Like, even at the very beginning, Klopp, when he was building the team, there was still signs. Like, I think about the Man City results at the Etihad, where he went and Firmino scored his first goal, and it was like, oh my word, this is a glimpse of what's to come, and it gives you an opportunity to hang your hat on something. Whereas I've got nowhere to hang my hat this season. I've got I've got gloves, I've got scarves and hats everywhere, and I've nowhere to hang them, because I just think, well, I don't know what, I keep thinking, okay, well, when this happens, then it'll be better. And when that happens, it'll be better. And, I know we can argue about the standard of players and quality players, but I'm not being funny. There's not many better strikers, and I know he hasn't had them this season, and that's a factor. There aren't that many possibilities. There aren't that many better 10s in the world at this moment in time than Florian Wirtz. So there's talent there. There's huge talent in the team. So you want to see at least 1 and 3 performances being great or really, really impressive, and thinking, you know what, this is the direction we're going. If we just had a left winger, we just had a proper right back, we just had a proper centre, blah, 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 you'd see that. But we're just not seeing it. We're just not seeing it. And it just feels like one step forward, 2 steps back.
Fair play. Asim, I'm going to come to you, because yesterday I spoke about...
This is why we don't do agendas, though, Gene.
Yeah, this is because I like the way this is going.
Look at that.
In terms of... I want to speak about Slot in terms of what Galatasaray... The game against Galatasaray, Asim, and I spoke about this yesterday with him. What Galatasaray game means to Liverpool and Arne Slot come next Wednesday. Slightly tracking from the game on Sunday, but I will be honest with you, Asim. If Liverpool and Arne Slot turn up on that Wednesday night playing shite football on a European night under the lights at Anfield, and we somehow get beat, I swear to God, I will come on this channel and I will absolutely lose my rag with him.
I have no doubt about that.
No. I just want Arne Slot to do. But one thing that I will say to him is the Arne Slot there's a moment, and this is his moment. I genuinely believe, and Avi's mentioned as well, that if Arne Slot goes to it. That Galatasaray game comes on Wednesday, and from that first minute, Ben, he absolutely goes for him. Goes for Galatasaray and say, right, we're giving it to you. For 90 minutes, these players go out there and absolutely give it their all, from the minute go and go for it. If I see that, Ben, and we win that game playing that type of football, front foot from the first minute, Champions League, European night, under the lights, Anfield, and we get a result, that is his saving grace. That within, if we see something like that, Ben, because that's what I'm looking out for now. Jurgen Klopp got his Dortmund moment. Arne Slot has not had a moment where he can say, I'm the man. This Galatasaray result game on Wednesday is that moment where he has to let loose. He has to let go of the shackles and say, you know what, guys, go out there. You've got the Anfield crowd, because if this guy turns up on that Wednesday night and plays side-to-side football in that first half, Ben, I am going to lose my rag with him. And Asim, I am going to flip if we do not get a result, because this Galatasaray team is a shite team. Let's be honest, they've got bloody Budde playing for them and not nowhere near good enough. Their away form tells you a 10-man Juventus nearly got a bloody, nearly put them out. And if we somehow don't get a result, mate, he's getting it from me. I'll be honest, for me, that is the one game where he has to produce.
So I've got a slightly different take on it then, Gene, similar to what you're saying, but a slightly different take. And it goes on what you said at the end of that there. I think we will beat Galatasaray comfortably on Wednesday, because there's no fans for them in the ground, which makes a big difference. And they are notoriously an awful team away from home. So I think there'll be no problem whatsoever. Not no problem. I think we'll comfortably get through on Wednesday. I think if there's going to be a moment, here he is.
Here we are.
There we are then, everyone. Morning, afternoon, evening.
Why is he here? We were having such a mature conversation.
I can see the maturity. I can see the maturity level in the conversations. Don't you worry.
The level of conversation, you have to admit, lads, like it went up 2 levels.
Here we go.
Wow, what a conversation. This is not my, look at the chat. Kiki Wad. I'm sorry if I've butchered your name. Brilliant chat, lads. There's a few on earlier, and now the roller's coming. Hello.
No roller. There is no roller. First of all, Gene, good to see you back. Come from Galatasaray. I like the blog as well. Very nice.
Where's your face, man? Where's your face?
What?
Oh no. Asim, I can't. I'm actually. I'm not at office. I'm not at my in-laws either. I'm somewhere that I've got to.
Are you in the bog?
No. Come on, yard. Good to see Ben. And Asim, obviously, it's always good to. We hear from each other every single second of the day. But listen, Gene, I just wanted to come in. I just wanted to come in, and I'll give you 20 minutes of a little bit of my time, 5 minutes here. I just want to say, I think we should move past. Honestly, we should move past from Arne out, Arne in. We know everyone's thoughts, first and foremost. We know who's Arne out, who's Arne in. I get that. But this last sort of final hurdle, this final stretch of the season, we should just get behind the lads. I think we know the general consensus is that Arne Slot will probably lose his job. We are not favourites for the Champions League. FA Cup, City and Arsenal are still in it. And then the league, let's just hope we try to make top 5. I think we should honestly, as a channel, as the panel members, as the main members of the channel, we should walk away from this Arne out, Arne in. Everyone knows what our views are. It's like that every single time we get on a show, when we lose, especially when we lose, like Galatasaray on Tuesday, it's back to that Arne out. We know everyone's thoughts. That's all I wanted to say.
No, Avi, look, Avi, we won't be.
Let me answer him.
Yeah.
Avi, that game against Galatasaray is not a small game. It's probably one of the biggest games of the season for us. If
this Wednesday, yes, I agree.
Yeah, right. Obviously, we should have done better in the first leg. We got beat. Now we've got them at Anfield. You've spoken about European royalty. We've spoken about Anfield nights. We've spoken about the crowd. We've spoken about how you get this Liverpool crowd going. If this manager turns up to that game and we play side-to-side football for 45 minutes in that first game, this manager is getting drilled by me. So I'm not holding back, bro. He's getting drilled.
No, Gene.
Is it safe to say?
Let me speak. Any manager who uses the Anfield crowd against Liverpool Football Club, right, which is our biggest asset, yeah, and he turns up to a game where we're losing 1-0, right, and we somehow lose that game, bro, you're getting it from me. I don't care who you are getting it. Turn up to that game. Avi, this is his chance to prove it to us. And I'm not going to sit here and accept bullshit football any longer.
No, I think we were past.
Galatasaray, bro.
Yeah. No, I think we're past the chances. Look, he's had ample chances this season to show that he's adjusted, rotated, or he's shown some kind of setup plan, structure. Asim keeps going on about, and he hasn't. It's the same old football. Gene, if we get knocked out on Wednesday, you should do what you've been doing majority of the season, and rightly so. Come for the manager. But we know. All I'm saying is, we know as a club. The people at the top, call it cowards or whatnot, they're not going to make a decision before the end of the season.
Is it a sackable offence if he loses on Wednesday night to Galatasaray? Yes or no?
It will be if we don't
Answer the
qualify,
question, yes or no?
if we do not qualify for the next round of the Champions League, he deserves his papers on Thursday morning. I'm sorry.
So you don't want to give him 18 months now, yeah?
It's not about the 18 months anymore. Gene, look, we can go. Look, like I said,
go there.
if you want to do roll line, if you want to do roll line, this and that, we can go back and forth about the on in, on air. We can go back and forth like that. But look, I will say to you, I'm assessing him by the end of the season. But if we get knocked out to Galatasaray, I'm sorry, but they're not a great team. And twice now, it's been a gun ho approach, them against us at their ground, and we've come off second best. On Wednesday, we need to win. End of. If we do not win. Yeah, it comes down to the manager, and he should be getting his P45 next morning.
Fair play.
If he
All
loses
right,
on Sunday, it's a sackable offence, but that's a different conversation.
Might not get to Wednesday.
What I was going to say though, Gene, what I was going to say just to wrap that up is, obviously I think that he'll win on Wednesday. I think they're a poor team away, they're no fans, blah blah blah. I think his moment, if he's ever going to have one, he's on his destiny is PSG. He hasn't shut up about them for 12 months. He's been on a mission to try and mirror image Liverpool this season, or that was his sort of thought. As soon as we lost to them, it was like, how can we be like on better than PSG? He's going to get a chance because they're going to go through against Chelsea, and he's going to get his rematch, and he's going to get, we're not going to be in as good a nick, ironically, against them this season as we were last season. So he's actually, but then they're not in the same nick as what they were last season either. So he gets an opportunity to right this wrong and correct this thing that he's been talking about for a long time, and say, right, okay, if you think you're the man, then you go and beat the Champions League holders, and you give us a sign that you tell us that, right, okay, well, I am the man to take us on next season. Because I don't know whether he knows he is at the moment, and that's my sort of thought process at the moment with the manager. I don't know whether he thinks he's the man. I don't think he's lost his confidence in himself in general. But
Gene,
that's actually a fair point, Ben. I'll have you 1 second. That's actually, you know what? If that game is his the moment that he's been waiting for, forget us. That's the moment he's been waiting for, because like you mentioned, he's been speaking about it for that long, and that moment comes and he delivers. Coming to you, Asim, we beat Galatasaray. He delivers against PSG. Whether it's I was saying Galatasaray is his welcome moment. If he somehow beats PSG, God, I don't think that's gonna happen. But if he does it, that's something. Then that is not something. That's a huge statement from Arne Slot.
Yes and no. Because, look, let's be honest, we could have beaten PSG last season as well. Yeah, and I get what you're saying, because the situation has changed, how times have changed. It's only about 8-9 months ago that we were one of the best sides in Europe, especially that period over, October, November, when we beat City, we beat Real Madrid, albeit it was Anfield, but we beat them really, really well with football. And we struggled against PSG in the first leg, and then I thought we were the better side over the 90 minutes. Anfield, and there was a few fine margins, and he's been talking about fine margins at the very highest level. It is about fine margins, but look, Abi's been talking about that he needs a moment. To be fair to him, I know the league was done, but he got that moment in a funny way against Tottenham last season when we were going for the league, and it was a unbelievable atmosphere. He talks about the coach coming in, or the fans.
Asim, when I mean, sorry to interject, Asim. When I mean a moment, it's when the Tottenham game, we were going to win that, and the league was dropped up. A moment where it's almost a sign of desperation, and he's had to lean on the crowd. We've not seen that. He's not lent on the support of Anfield, on the at the Anfield crowd or the fans, because majority of the season, this season especially, we've been shit. The football's been shit. But I just feel he needs one of those moments where, like we mentioned it, the Lovren winner against Dortmund in the Klopp's early tenure, he's not had it. He needs a moment like that. And Gene, I just want to come back to the PSG game. If we manage to beat Galatasaray, which we should, and we beat PSG, even Ben's not the only person when I ask this question, even amongst Liverpool fans on Twitter, even maybe on YouTube as well, even if you went on to win the European Cup, what's damning is people still want him out. And that shows you that there is no real connection. And I get where Ben has come from. And when you have delivered the league title and possibly, and look, it's a long shot, you deliver the European Cup and your fans still want you out, it only ever goes one way. And that's the thing. He could win a double. He could win the FA Cup and the Champions League, get us in top five, and there'll still be. And it's a good majority of fans that would still say he's not the right man. That shows you that there's no real connection. There's not an emotional connection with the fella. That's the problem.
Yeah, look, in terms of connection, we all know that. But Avi, he has a chance to at least have that on a European night on Wednesday. He has a chance
to
try and 100%. To try and at least try to salvage some sort of connection. Because look, sometimes it can be a moment's thing. Where it clicked, and you know what? Boom! It can happen. I'm not saying it's gonna happen, but it can happen. And if it does, and then he goes on a bit of a run and he wins against bloody PSG, believe you me, the fans will be fully behind him. Because we're not a football club that gonna just go out for the manager. Avi, yes. I don't like the manager at times. I called this for his head in November, Asim. But you know what? If the guy turns it around and starts playing, decent, you get 2 huge results, and we go and win a bloody Champions League somehow, you got to give him a cap and say, I was wrong, mate. You've just delivered a title and delivered me a Champions League. Bro, these are 2 trophies that every single Liverpool fan would bloody kill over the last 25 to 20, 30 years. So sometimes you can't, we have to accept it and say, okay, sometimes it might be a bit shit, but if he's delivering, you got to accept what he's delivering.
I can live with it. Having no emotional connection with the manager. Nobody last season when we won a title was saying, "Oh, I don't have emotional connection with Slot. He's won the league, but I don't feel connected to him because he was the same guy last season." It's the performances. If we play well and you enjoy watching it and you're excited by the football, even if the results don't always go your way, that's what makes it. You put you on side. Because if you play well and your performances are good, then the results will just follow naturally. At this season, we've got results when we haven't deserved them. We've got results when sometimes we have deserved them, but they've been wishy-washy because the performances in general have been diabolical. Really diabolical. And there's no sign, realistically. It's a very slow turnaround. It's very, very slow improvements in various different areas. And the standards of this team and this club now are such that, just being okay is nowhere near good enough anymore because you've got world-class players on the pitch. You're spending a lot of money. You've got the highest wage bill in the Premier League. You think to yourself, well, we expect more now. We're at a different level. So therefore, the performances have got to match that. And if he's not going to be this really big animated character on the sideline or be all in with the fans, then the performances have got to be class. Pep's not running around the touchline going nuts at the supporters and stuff. But my word, his football is good to watch, generally speaking. And he does what he needs to do, and he's an innovator. But it's like I just feel as though the philosophy this season has just been, well, we haven't got our best players or we haven't got players in this position, so we're just doing as best we can. And there was many times when we didn't have the right players for Klopp, but we still enjoyed watching it, generally speaking, and that's what needs to change.
But the thing is that Jurgen Klopp's side always generally had legs. We saw Jurgen Klopp's side struggle when legs went out in that midfield. And yes, they went all together in Fabinho, Henderson and all these guys. But we saw Jurgen Klopp's side struggle at times as well. Yes, it was for me, he was the best pound for pound manager this league has seen, and nobody would do that job like Jurgen Klopp. I've said it on numerous occasions. Pep is a GOAT in his own right, unbelievable pioneer of different type of football. But Jurgen Klopp, against pound for pound, what he was given in terms of budget as well, unbelievable. But at the end of the day, he was built on the counter press. And when legs went out of Jurgen Klopp's side, it went. And where I sympathize with Klopp is how do you gain that connection with the manager through his body language? But the team should need to. You're a reflection of your philosophy,
100%.
100%. And if you can't, if Jurgen Klopp, yeah, he was doing fists and this and that. And even though we found it really strange at times when we drew against West Brom in front of the Kop, we were going towards them. But he was setting the picture that if you have to come back even against, we're all in one, and he was setting the foundation at that time. Well, what I sympathize with Slot, and yes, he needs to take a lot of responsibility. So after winning the title, you do have a lot of clout and credibility. That if you want a certain type of player, you have to go for it. If you're letting Diaz go, if the club is letting Diaz go, you make sure that you get that type of profile. And what is gonna ignite us fans with an Arnie Slot side again is the intensity from one or two players, where you see Luis Diaz against City carry that ball for 30 yards and we get our asses up off the seat, is because that's what excites us as fans. It doesn't have to be a goal every single time. It can be a Conor Bradley on a European night, a tackle, an Arnie, a Jurgen Klopp argument with Arteta. So, that's what I think he misses, those 3-4 players. And on the ball, in terms of lack of intensity, he had a trend where you could be playing shit and he'd do something absolutely extraordinary and the game would flip. And last season, you go even an Arnie Slot side, we were talking about control. But Anfield took over last year as well, against Chelsea, against Brighton, for 10, 15 minutes. Even Arnie Slot couldn't control Anfield because he still had those 3-4 players from a Jurgen Klopp side who had that intensity. You might be able to take that Jurgen Klopp out of the club or the way he left, whatever, but you couldn't take Jurgen Klopp out of those players. And even Arnie Slot struggled to do that. But we loved it because it was the perfect balance.
Yeah. It's a really good point. Really good point.
Avi, coming to you, I think obviously Ben, obviously you're more, let's say, more Arnie Slotting than probably anybody on BNI, if I'm honest. And I think what the fans and everybody else who seem to struggle with more than anything is in terms of philosophy, in terms of what have we seen from Arne Slot that we say, okay, you know what, I've seen this, and I think this guy, this manager, can do this to make this Liverpool team go forward and crack on and do well. Because I'll be honest, I've not seen anything yet, Avi, from this manager. If a lot of Liverpool fans saw, you know what, that's where he's going, and you know what, okay, let's get on the boat. You know what, we'll ride it out, and that's where we're headed. This is our road. Right now, we haven't got a road. We haven't got no philosophy. That's what I feel as though. What is it that you look at and you think, you know what, we need to stick with Arne Slot here for this reason?
Look, it's not about, look, he's had components come in from the summer, that haven't got going, that have had stop-starts seasons. Frimpong's injuries haven't helped. Isak obviously not having a preseason at Newcastle and coming in the last few hours of the transfer window. That certainly was a major issue. The over-reliance on Ekitike. Florian Wirtz. Look, I get all the clamour, Gene, and you've said it. When you spend 115 million, whatever it was, on Florian Wirtz, you expect, Asim's words there, plug and play. I totally get that when you spend that much money. But look, we are Liverpool fans. We are patient with new signings. It took Wirtz and up until November to get into any kind of form. And even then, Gene, your argument would be he was scoring against the lesser teams where opportunities were a little bit more open to him. He could be more expressive. Against the big games, he was still kind of struggling. Look, Wirtz will need a season. He will need a season. His body, his physicality, his conditioning, that will take up to a year. Next season, I hope, Gene, to see the best of him. I hope that Frimpong can stay clear of injuries. I hope Isak can give us a full season with a proper preseason in America without any injury issues. And look, if Slot is still the manager, I would expect us to have some kind of setup, some kind of blueprint of what he wants. If we're likening him to his Feyenoord setup, Gene, have we seen anything like that? There's been very rare signs of it. Yeah, I get the whole, playing. He had Santiago Gimenez there. He had Igor Pichau as the winger. We haven't been able to give him a winger this season. We've had no wingers. It's not Salah's fault. It's not Gakpo's fault. We just didn't replace Diaz. We didn't replace a presser in our forward line. And not only that, Gene, We've had players who have lost form. Majority of the players in that 11 have lost form, from the goalkeeper to Salah. We can go one by one. Everyone has had a massive downturn in form and quality. That hasn't helped. Is that an Arne thing? Is that something that happened in pre-season, the summer? We know what went on, unfortunate circumstances. Are they still sort of suffering from that? I don't know. But I hope that, look, if it doesn't turn around and he gets his marching orders, I hope the new manager can still get a tune out of, say, a Gravenberch, not Szoboszlai so much. If Salah stays, get a tune out of Salah, Gakpo, McAllister's, if these are all to stay. But unfortunately, what we're dealing with now is whatever Arne Slot tries, they're not. There's little to nothing basically that it's replicating that what they do on training ground onto the pitch.
Because right now, let's be honest, nothing's working. When we lost against City and Bournemouth, Ben, we were told, oh, we were a bit unlucky. They got 2 late goals, blah de blah de blah. Okay, fine. Then you get beat by Wolves in the manner that we lost. Then you get beat by Galatasaray in the manner that we lost. So, where's the actual real improvement in this actual team? I don't see anything. And this was my issue in October. I looked at this team, I looked at this manager, and yes, I blamed the players as well at the same time, because I looked at the players and I thought, can these players give me what we want? Probably not. But you thought, maybe the manager will do something. He hasn't really done anything. There's not been any, 4 or 5 games in January where we thought, we went on a bit of a run where we didn't lose any games. That's about it. We've not seen anything else. What have we seen what have we seen? Because I struggle to see anything.
Yeah, no, I agree, mate. We've, I think standards have generally dropped at the club over the last 12 months. Just general standards of professionalism and quality.
We're allowed. Is that because we won the league? Now we've delivered a title.
I think it is.
The change of players, and thought, what, we can have 12 months off.
I know these sort of statistics don't always match up, but we've never won, back to back for a long time. It's very difficult to win back to back in general. The only team who have done it in recent times is City, but certainly when we won it in 1920. The season after, I know it was COVID season, like the real COVID season, and it didn't suit us at all with having no fans, but we did fall off massively. I know we had a lot of big injuries as well, so it's a slightly different scenario, but we struggled massively. And I do think there was like a general sort of, a couple of my mates were saying it, and I was like, nah, it's not really the thing. But if you actually think about it, the fact that even when they won the league and they spent the last month pretty much on boats in Dubai and Ibiza and stuff, partying and whatnot, and we lost those run of games towards the end of last season, and it was like, well, it doesn't matter because we won the league. And I remember myself at the time, so I'm part of this problem, in that I was like, who cares when you win the league? You lose games and you switch off mentally. But I don't think they ever actually switched back on again completely, because I think they just thought, what, this has come 12 months. We weren't expecting this at all. We weren't expecting to win the league after the year and Klopp left. This is a walk in the park. This is great. And we did. Standards did drop massively. They really did drop massively. And and then we had the obviously what we had that happened in the summer, where it was a huge blow with Jota and stuff. And then, like I said at the beginning, the pre-season was a mess. So it's almost been a bit of a snowball effect where we've never really truly recovered. But at the same time, you need to feel as though the players back slot, they certainly haven't thrown in the towel. He hasn't lost the dressing room, which is the age-old statement. I don't think he has at all. But I think the problem with Arne is that he's a bit of a yes man to the players. They get a lot of days off in between games, it seems, at the moment. There seems to be a lot of lackadaisical. They're not really training, intensely. And I think that's probably because partly he's worried about us getting injuries because the squad's so thin. But at the same time, you just lose that edge. And there's been games where we've played well, and then the very next game, you're like, we'll go on a run now, and we're going to show some momentum. And then we just completely and utterly fall off a cliff again. And that's a mental thing as well. And even in game, when we've started well, well or we've played well, as soon as been an adverse scenario in the game, we've fallen apart. Like Bournemouth, for example, we started really well against Bournemouth. People totally forget that. But then we just collapsed. They scored a goal and then they scored again and we collapsed and we never recovered. And it's that mental fragility, you know, this mentality monsters is now the complete opposite to a certain degree. And it's almost as if like, well, if we play well, great. And if we don't, then it's okay. We'll go again the next game. And that's just no recipe for any sort of success.
Gene and Asim, like Ben, you probably know by now as well, but Gene and Asim know me like, you know, a little bit longer. They know that I'm into all these sort of mystical sort of, you know, destiny and whatnot. There is something about Arne Slot, a full circle, isn't it? Facing PSG in the quarterfinals. There is something there in the waters, Gene. I know you hate these fairy tales. I know. I know. No. I know. Look, I tell you now, I'll be shocked if we don't beat them convincingly on Wednesday, right? I'll be very upset if we don't put at least 3-4 past that Galatasaray team, without Davinson Sanchez as well, the big man. But look, there is something. It's a full circle, isn't it? Facing this PSG team, you just think that if he gets one over them. And I know it's impossible right now, Gene, in your opinion. If we get over him, maybe that's like, I don't know, Fergie's moment when Fergie was on the verge of getting sacked. And that was his David Bowie 2-2 against Crystal Palace. Maybe, I don't know. I think into the mystic world. I hope to think.
Clouds, bro.
No, I tell you what, I hope to. The only way I say that, because God forbid we lose again to PSG, I think it'll end him. I think it'll end him as a manager and as a person, because he is so fixated. He does mention them, and I think I've seen in the comments as well. He's mentioned them again in the embargo section. He is so fixated with PSG. I just feel that there's something in the waters in that tie.
And the way he says it pisses me off as well. Honestly, that pisses me off more.
But actually, the bigger picture is it's almost as if he's in awe of PSG. He's in awe of PSG, and it's like if you want to be,
and it shouldn't be that. That shouldn't be the case.
Football club. You can't be in awe of anybody. You could be like, I want to be better than everyone.
We know what? That's a sackable offense in itself for me.
You know one thing. If he's obsessed with PSG, 1 second, you come.
You've got a bit of a delay. Sorry.
Yard. If you are obsessed with PSG, right, and you signed these fullbacks, why have you gone on both Florian Wirtz, Alexander Isak, and Ekatike when their 3 front forwards are pressing monsters? You've not gone on both players that fit PSG. This is another issue that I've got with him. You're obsessed with PSG. All right, go and buy wingers that are going to be pretty playing at that sort of level then. Go and buy a 10 that's going to, a 9 that's going to press and become a pressing machine. You've got 3 players that hardly really press. Okay, they press, but nowhere near to the level that's required or needed. Anyway, Asim, you can go.
No, that's why I was going to make the same point. That's a sackable offense in itself. If you're so obsessed with something, you know, you go and replicate it as best as possible, but you haven't. That's what is the most annoying thing.
Doesn't that prove then that he's not really got much of a say when it comes to who we sign?
Well, maybe he's just not obsessed enough. You know, he might be obsessed with them, but replicating that type of player, the judgment is a different skill. Maybe, I don't know.
Yeah.
We have got a couple of.
Should we cover off Spurs, Gene, before we think about Galatasaray?
Let me do a couple of supers before we move to Spurs. Avik, this one's for you, mate. What's going on with Curtis Jones?
You know, 2-3 weeks ago, I read an article. He was nursing a niggling. It's the ankle again, apparently. It's that same ankle issue that he's had in previous years. So, look, I'd like to see him start on Sunday, but then I'd like to see him start against Galatasaray. So,
you know,
I'm not sure.
I read an article as well. It's a particular part of the ankle.
Yeah.
It's called Arne Slot. That's what the problem is. That's what the problem is.
Hello?
It's not a metatarsal. It's a bloody Arne Slot. That's what it is.
Okay, next one. Sujas, big up. Thank you very much. You got Chelsea and City UCL results relieved my pain a bit. Look, I don't give a shit about City or Chelsea. No, really.
Oh, Sajid, sorry, Sajid, at least spell relieved properly in it. Come on, yeah. If you're going to send a super chat, at least get the spelling right, yeah.
Yeah, that's it, Avi, man.
I mean, leave him alone, man.
Sujit, big up, brother.
Look at the caliber of opposition they're facing compared to
listen,
who
man,
we're facing.
guy, he's giving a guy crap for making a small little error. This guy, makes as the biggest errors you can make in football. The biggest errors you can make in football, right? And then he's probably going for somebody that's really made a little mistake.
Sorry, guys. Look.
Leave him alone, man.
Back down from dreamland, okay? I'm back down from dreamland, please. Oh.
Okay, guys. I think you know what. Let's do a quick summary. Let's speak quickly on Spurs. Asim, I'll come to you first. Big game Sunday. It looks like they've got a lot of players out as well. Okay, they've got like half a team out.
Half a squad. Half a squad.
And I think Romero. The news came out that Romero's out as well now, right? So it's a game we simply have to win. What if we don't win that game?
Look, we can't think like that. I can't not think like that. I'll get in a bad mood. I'm in a good mood tonight. I'm in a good mood.
This is the kind of game, Gene. This is the kind of game. Sorry, Asim. This is the kind of game that you can't even say, Gene. What if we? Because this should be a nailed on. If there ever was a nailed on result this season, it's this one. There shouldn't even be any talk of a.
This is a bye.
Yeah. Ben, you.
But the thing is, there's no pressure in a funny way.
Benjamin has said it beautifully. There, it's a buy. It's actually a buy.
I don't think it's a buy.
Oh yeah, Asim, they are awful, yeah.
Takina, they look like Real Madrid against us on Sunday. Just watch.
Did you see?
Romero will start looking like really.
Romero's out.
Romero's out.
Is he out? I wanted him to play because he gets sent off after 5 minutes.
He's got a concussion injury, all right? Romero's got a concussion injury. Basuma is out. Conor Gallagher
They've all got concussion. Tottenham Football Club.
Mickey Longlegs is suspended. Right, but forget about all the players. The thing that is the buy for me is, did you see Ornstein's tweets before?
They're looking for a new manager.
They're looking for a new manager. So it's like I would this to me on Sunday is I'm being deadly serious. I want the goal difference sorting out on Sunday, and I'm being deadly serious. Liverpool,
yeah, no, he's right.
Should be looking at 4, 5, 6.
We cannot think like that.
I know we should.
Oh, Gene, we've got to put 4-5 past him. Ben's right. 100%.
Hey, Kinski's not playing again. No,
Vicario can play. I don't mind. Listen, guys.
These haven't won a football match in 2026.
I know,
it's
but
now March.
You watch how they look like Real Madrid on Sunday. Just
no time like the present, Benjamin. No time like the present.
The game. I'm okay. We might win the game. But these guys are talking about 5-0 and goal differences.
Gene, I will come on the show fuming if we haven't scored over 3 goals.
Look, I want a good performance.
I tell you, if I wasn't slot out beforehand, if we lose or don't win comfortably on Sunday, then honestly, I'm getting me banner out.
No, Ben, come on, Ben. No, Ben, we don't want you to be like that. Come on, Ben, come on. Let's behave.
No, seriously, we should absolutely destroy these on Sunday. They don't want to play for the manager. Did you hear Teddy Sheringham on TalkSport in the week? He was saying like he's got friends inside the club. Which obviously has contact with the players. They're not having him. They're not having him at all. They've not put in one performance for him so far. He is done. If Ornstein's talking about the sounding out managers for him, they would have sacked him this week, but they just haven't obviously got somebody over the line who actually can take charge. So I would fully expect him to get battered on Sunday, and then he'll be gone on Monday. That's exactly what I think should happen. We should be looking at 4, 5, 6-0 on Sunday. I'm telling you.
Just
honestly, I really,
Gene, just on this Spurs stuff.
See daily, it'll be over.
Just on this Spurs stuff, I know someone who is very close to Spurs, and if you remember, I did tell people about Amanda Staveley setting up a consortium to take over the Spurs before 2-3 weeks up before the news actually came out.
You did.
If Spurs stay up, Gene, you might like me for this. If they stay up, they will get taken over, and they want Xavi Hernandez in the summer. If they obviously stay up, stay above float and stay in the Premier League, they have earmarked Xavi Hernandez. And Xavi Hernandez, from what I know, has given the thumbs up, providing that they get taken over.
Okay, Ben's going with 6, Asim. Avi's going with 5. What's your score prediction?
Are we playing the Six Nations on Sunday? Are we decided to play rugby on Sunday?
Asim, we will have to score goals.
Oh,
I
yeah,
know
lad.
we have to score goals, but can we score 6? Come on, guys, man.
Guys, I want can the chat get involved as well? Can I have your
To
predictions?
be honest, we've put 6 past them before in the 92-93 season. We've put 4-5 past them. We have put 4-5 past them in recent seasons. Do not even away as well. So don't be surprised, guys. And these were better Spurs team than the one that we're facing now.
I know, but football don't work like that. Football.
I think it goes 14-8 to Liverpool.
What was the score last season? Benjamin?
Get ahead.
Benjamin, what was the score last season?
I think it was 5-2 or something.
5-2, okay.
Someone like
And they
that.
are considerably weaker. Yeah,
No,
it was.
Let's see. I hope you guys are right. Look, I'm not lying. I can see like a 3-0, but not 5 and 6 and 7.
No, who said 7?
Ben said 4, 5, 6, didn't he?
No, 5-6 is all right.
4, 5, 6, yeah. I think 5 is genuinely like realistic.
Wow. Okay.
Ben, 5 is minimum.
Oh,
These guys
Right,
are.
easy
All
time.
right,
minimum.
Asim, what's your prediction, man?
I'm going 3-0. 3-0.
Go on, Gene. Negative Nancy. Draw.
No, I think we will win the game 2-1.
Gene, can I ask you a question as well then? In relation to this game.
Yeah.
Do you want us to win?
If we win.
Toba.
No, I want us to win. I want us to win on Wednesday. That's more important. I can't. I want to win on Wednesday. I have to beat Galatasaray, bro. I can't.
Richarlison is scoring. I can see
You can only win one of the two games.
Avi, I've got a question for you.
Go on.
Do you want Salah to score? Saber.
Oh!
Be honest. My Muslim brother, do you want him to score? Saber.
I love Muhammad more than you do, Gene.
Yes, Avi. Go on, Avi, lad. Go on, Avi. Okay, listen. Would you guys be pissed off then if we just beat Spurs 1-0 then?
Bro, any
Oh, I'll be livid. I'll be fucking livid on Sunday.
Come on, Avi. What the hell, man?
any win.
Asim, this is the weakest
All right,
Spurs team that
I
I
think a 1-0
known to man.
if we're banging the door down. You know, if we batter
So
them,
you want
and we just doesn't. We've got to play well against these. These are a mess.
Look, Avi, if we do batter them, it'll be brilliant. Especially going into that Galatasaray game on Wednesday, it'd be honestly unbelievable. If we batter them, our tails will be up. Hopefully, we'll come out on Wednesday all guns blazing. But I don't know, man. Let's see what happens.
I'm calling it now. Salah hat-trick on Sunday.
NJ. And you know what? After 20 minutes, this guy's tweeting about him. Get this cunt out of my football.
No. Oh, yeah, come on. I've never called Salah that. I've called him many things, but not that. Come on. I haven't even called Ibu that. I've never called Ibu that either. I've never called Ibu
Call him a
this
frog.
season.
Call him a frog.
No, that's special occasion for Ibu.
Special occasion.
So
Asim, what's your prediction, man?
I said 3-0 on Sunday.
Okay, 3-0.
Gee,
Ben,
so
6-0.
just to put it into context, I'm just reading a Spurs blog now who was really good, and he said the likelihood is on Sunday the centre half partnership will be
Archie Gray.
Danso and Pedro Porro.
In the middle.
Who's right back
Yeah.
then?
Your guess is as good as mine. You just said likelihood on Sunday.
Where's
I
Archie
think
Gray?
the centre
Where's
back.
Archie
Ben,
Gray?
we're going to be 4 up within 15 minutes. You watch.
Who's in net?
He's playing
Who's
one
in
of the
net?
3 midfield
Vicario.
positions that they have.
Vicario will be back. Vicaria's back.
He
Vicario.
goes Gomez hat-trick according to Ben.
Hey, this is his best chance ever to score, but he won't be playing,
Wait,
unfortunately.
blame up
so,
front if Porro centre back.
yeah.
Wow.
Oh. So
You know what?
who's going to play right back then? Gray at right back, maybe. Okay.
Here's a question to you all then. If Spurs go down, which I hope they do, if there's 2 players that you'd snatch from them, which ones would it be? Asim?
2 players. I like Bergwall.
I like Pogba.
Korea. That's for you. That's for you.
Look at him, yeah. Just because one day he mentioned Berg that we're linked to Bergville, and now he's because you mentioned it.
Asim knows I love Bergville. Okay, can I go
Bergwall,
with my two first?
Anyway.
go to my tweets last year about Bergwall.
Beautiful player.
Really good player.
Okay, second one.
Someone saying Vuskovic. I'm not seeing that.
Luka Vuskovic and Bergvall is my two.
I've not seen that.
Is he the £100 million defender, Avi?
Hamburg, yeah.
Yeah, I've not seen that guy play.
I've got that start, by the way. Yeah, 100 million. Yaad rakhi.
Gina, the guy.
I'm
Gina,
giving you advance notice.
Gina, I'm just telling you. I'm not sure if you've seen him. The guy is a baller. 18 years old. He's a baller, man.
He's a wicked player.
But you know who I would take a punt on?
Gone.
Pedro Porro.
Yeah, he's one of my two. I'd have Porro.
Who else would you have, Ben?
Long legs as well. Mickey long legs.
Gene?
If I had a choice, Mohammed Kudus.
Ooh, I forgot about him.
One Mohammed for another. Yeah, I like
That's the only reason, Avi. Yeah? That's the only reason.
Go on.
No, I think you know what. I think if he came, I think he'd cook at Liverpool. Him and I think I'm with you guys. I think I'm with you, Avi. I saw that Vuskovic. The guy's going to be sensational.
Is he good? Is he good? Yeah.
Bro, but you know what?
I mean,
right now, you're going to love him on the ball.
Really? Right now, though, Polo is needed.
Avi, which side of the defense does he play? Right or left, bro?
But he got you with that one, Avi.
No, your side. What type of defender is there?
Guys, I think that's it. Let's call it a wrap, man. I'm done with it.
He's got me there.
No,
guys.
What about the title of the show? Does Rio start?
Ooh, well, the manager said he's in contention with one of the next three. So, which do you think? Let's say he gets one start out of the next three
tomorrow.
So it's Sunday. Yeah, he might start tomorrow
on Sunday, but he may well play tomorrow.
You know what I mean, innit? Sunday. We start on. Rio starts on.
He's jet lagged.
I don't know. Ben, I can't hear from one.
Yeah, I think Sunday. I think he starts Sunday.
Wow.
Yeah.
Anfield, man.
Remember, Gakpo didn't start against Galatasaray.
Yeah. So
I think Gakpo starts on Sunday as well.
I thought.
Ooh.
Wow, he's going with Mohammed.
No, he's going with Ekitike on the bench.
No.
Huh?
I think Ekitike will be on the bench.
That's what I said. Yeah. He's resting Ekitike for that Wednesday game, mate.
I think Gakpo will play through the middle and Rio off the left.
Yeah, I'm with you.
Salah came off, didn't he?
So go on, Ben. Say that team again.
So I think it'll be Rio on the left, Gakpo through the middle, and Salah on the right.
Hello.
And then Ekitike will come off the bench the second half. It'll be Vert behind Gravenberch and Szoboszlai, and McAllister will be on the bench as well for Wednesday.
It'll be 8-0 by then, Ben, don't worry.
Avi, Rio starting then, yeah?
Yeah, I think Rio starts. Oh, also, I did have some news. There's a youngster. I'm trying to get the name of. I'll get the name by Sunday. He is playing in the championship. Him and his parents probably will be at Anfield on Sunday. I'm trying to get the name, and I will release that name exclusively on Born and Red.
Why have you giving me all that spiel right now when you haven't got a name?
Because the guy didn't give me the name either. My source.
There's no need for you to say all of that. There's no need.
No, I thought I'd drop in.
Okay, who? I don't know. Okay, thanks.
I thought I'd drop in a little bomber.
That's not even a bomber. That's a lie.
No, I'll get you the name on Sunday.
He's looking for a ticket.
Honestly, this guy, man. Anyway, guys, before we do the final super chat, let me go through it. Omar, thank you very much for your super chat. He goes, no proper wingers, midfield struggling. Why not go back to the diamond that worked earlier this season? One of you looking at that. Whoever wants it, have it.
I think Frankfurt the first game that we tried this?
The thing is, with the diamond, we need some fullbacks. Our right backs has always been injured as well. That's one of the biggest reasons.
Does Frimpong start on Sunday?
Yes.
Who started Gomez against Galatasaray, wasn't it?
Frimpong starts on Sunday.
So what's our midfield? What's our midfield three, lads?
I think it's
on Sunday.
You give us yours, isn't it? Without Szoboszlai first.
No. What's ours on Sunday, Ben?
I would like to see
I think it's Verts, Szoboszlai, Graf.
Wirtz, Szoboszlai, Grav. Yeah,
I
I'd like to see that. I'd like to see that midfield as well.
That's what I think. That's what you're gonna see with the Rio, Salah, and Gakpo up top.
I'd like to see that. I'd like to see that. If we're gonna
do
play
you think
Wirtz in the number 10, then put the two guys that have got the most legs behind him. Then, if you can't,
Now that if
I've
Rio's an
always
option,
had my thoughts about. Avi's been talking about Szoboszlai and Wirtz. I've always had my doubts about Wirtz and McAllister. I just think that's too weak. I just think that's too weak.
for me now, between now and the end of the season, if Rio is a genuine option on the left, I do not want to see Florian Wirtz anywhere in this team other than centrally. He has to play centrally every single game and channel everything through him. That's the only way to start to get the absolute best out of him. Playing him on the left for me is just doesn't work.
Before we go, what did Paul What did Paul Joyce say about Florian Wirtz?
I don't know.
Guys,
he said that though.
Paul George, Isak return after international break.
Yeah, so obviously he comes back after international break. It'll take him 2 months to get fit. Season will be over. We move. So basically, he's back next season. He's not getting fit this season. Let's be honest. So bully Joe.
No.
Maybe Champions League final.
You'd like to have an option though, wouldn't it?
Or Dylan, yeah. Every time I've done a stream over the last week, you've been sending me the same message. Yeah. Okay, मैं आता जो ना.
मुबारका करो यार, मुबारका करो.
T20, whatever it was, yeah.
मुबारका करो यार, लड्डू खाओ यार.
लड्डू
खिला यार. India won the 2020. You should be sending a super chat at least.
Oh yeah, try winning the 50 overs in it, Dylan. Yeah, try winning the 50 overs World Cup next year. Yeah, giving it Larry Large.
Right. Anyway, look, and now big up to them. They deserved it. They were the best team in the tournament by far. So, and that Brody Samson, man, proper rummy player.
Samson. Hopefully, Sweden don't play him. Do you think Isak plays a bit for Sweden?
No,
they've got 2 legs, haven't they?
I hope Potter doesn't play him. I don't think Asim. I don't think he'll travel with them.
No, I think he will.
I think he'll go on. I think he'll go on club advice. I think he'll want to give them.
I'll go to give them support because it's a massive game for them, man.
Training as well, isn't it?
I think he gets some time on the pitch for Sweden. Not starting.
No.
I think he might come on for 5-10 minutes.
That would be bad.
Okay, what did he say about Florian Wirtz? Oh, Atik actually goes.
Wirtz is a number 10. Nothing else.
Ben, can I ask you a question, please?
Oh, anytime, mate. Anytime.
Very nice.
Ben, if you got 100 million for Wirtz in the summer,
oh my God,
would you sell him?
No.
Okay.
No.
Can I ask you a question?
To death. I think Florian Wirtz will be the best player in the Premier League in the next 2 or 3 years.
And J Ben, you go and give it some, son.
I think
Love
he's
it.
absolutely world class. He's
I mean, can I ask you a question?
He's been in the league for 6 months. There's times when you've seen him do stuff and you think, oh my word, he's unreal. Just give him time and let's actually see him in a functioning Liverpool team, in a good Liverpool team. If he can do the bits that he's done in certain situations in a shite Liverpool team, imagine what he could do in a great Liverpool team. And for me, if you asked Klopp,
I want to ask him a question. I want to ask him a question.
I got better.
No. Okay, you can ask me a question, but it goes to Chin. Would you take 100 million? Yes or no?
For Wirtz?
100 million for him right now. No, he's a player I wanted, so I can't really say. I want to give him 1 more year. But
okay,
one more
question.
Would you do this?
I wouldn't know. I wouldn't know. I wouldn't know.
I wouldn't.
No.
You would do it. I know Gene would do it.
I wouldn't because I think Wirtz can be the best in the world.
No, Gene would do it though. Gene would do this. Gene would do this.
Gene would do it. If it's taking it that long to think about it, you say yes.
I asked you the question. I'm not answering.
Because I know you do it. The way
I know you take that though. I know, Gene. I know you take this.
I know. We know you take it. We know you take it.
Why would
that's why you put it?
I'm the guy that wanted Florian Wirtz more than anyone.
It doesn't matter. You would take this.
Well, you would take it. I wouldn't take it.
Even though he's had a 3 out of 10 season, you wouldn't take it.
I mean,
Eh?
he's on the verge of saying yes. I know him. That's why.
course.
I will
He-
wait for you both to
he's
answer the
not got enough
question.
bollocks. He's not got bollocks to do it. He's not got bollocks to say it.
I don't just
Would
say I'm
you
not.
choose-
I mean, I asked you the question. I was waiting for you to thingy.
I said no.
Yes,
I said I was
Alex said-
firm. I was
Alex-
firm. I
Okay,
was firm and
you
said
know,
no.
Look, Alex said he goes.
Asim,
He
would
gave
you-
Wirtz 3 out of 10 for the season.
Would
No,
I take Wirtz? Lisa.
I gave Wirtz in October. I gave him 3 out of
No
10,
chance.
and I'm stick by it. Wirtz
So
was
you got an
3 out of
option
4
of
out of 10.
Elise. You got an option of Elise for words. Would you take it or not?
Who
You?
He ain't gonna say yes now.
would
yeah.
I take Elise for Florian Wirtz?
Be honest?
Yes.
Why would I say that? Why would I?
Right.
Why would
No, no,
Right.
go, you, okay,
Right.
fair enough. Okay, okay.
why
I know
would
the
take
truth.
that?
I know the truth.
I love
You know the
Florian
truth.
Wirtz, you know.
Okay. Well, look. To be fair,
Just
there's
swap-
a few people
here's
saying
one. Here's one.
I take
Would you,
it.
would you swap? Would you swap Isaac for Elise?
100%.
No, nope.
There you go,
Isaac's
man.
gonna come good, but Isaac's gonna be a killer next season.
Bro, Elise for Isak, I can take you up top right now. Take it.
I
If
think
it's
having a
guaranteed
little
you
thing.
win, I take it.
Nope. Firmly no again.
Take it.
Asim,
swap
what
Virgil
would you
van
say?
Dijk for Barnes
Asim,
Stones?
don't beat around the bush.
I am with Avisab.
And Jay. I know Asim's a big fan of Isak.
We all are.
What I would say, Avi, can I ask you a question?
Of course he can. You ask so nicely.
See, isn't
Liverpool
this
get
better,
a
boys?
fax. Liverpool
Go on.
get a fax
Yep.
in the summer.
Do they still exist?
Yeah, come on, a bit of FIFA manager now.
You got a
You
couple.
know,
You got a couple at Abu Zara, haven't you? A couple of fax machines, Angie. You go on. Ask me.
Yeah, we're fundraising
This is
for
not the real one, is it?
yeah. Huh?
Go.
You
This
get
is
an
not the real
email
one, is it?
from
I get an email. Go on.
Florentino Perez in
Sorry?
the summer.
Sorry.
Florentino Perez,
Go on.
and it's from Madrid, of course.
Yep.
And the subject on that email is Dominic Szoboszlai
Okay.
with a bid of £75 million.
Okay.
Would you take it?
Yes.
He'd take 7.5.
With possibly a year. Would he have a year to run after this season?
No,
2 years.
he's got 2 from now, I think.
2 years from no, in the summer it'll be 2 years.
Yes.
I would take that deal. Yes.
Dominic Szoboszlai contract.
If it means that 50 million goes towards Camavinga at Madrid, then yes, I'll take it.
No, the question was, it wasn't nothing to do with Camavinga. The question was 75 million for Dominic Szoboszlai. You would
Yes,
sell
yes,
it.
yes, I would take it.
That's saying it. That's
Avi,
the
can I
question.
ask you?
Ben, you ask so nicely. Why do you even have to ask? Go ahead.
After what we were talking about the other night, would you swap Rio for Elise?
Ooh, oi. I remember Ben said I'd take a substantial bid.
He said he'd take what, 90 million, was it?
No, I said I actually said, to be fair, I would take 50 million for him.
Oh,
Fucking hell.
Ooh.
Gene, Ben said he would take 50 million now for Rio.
To be fair,
Ben, you know what? Ben,
it's
you
a
know
lot
what?
of money.
That's
a lot
what
of
we call a Harami question, because I've liked Elise a long time. We actually liked the fella when he was at Reading. I wouldn't. You know why? I think the
You
club
wouldn't
have
take Elise for Rio right now.
Gene, I think the club have pinned a lot of hope on this Rio kid. Yes, I
And that's
know.
exactly
I
why I
don't
asked
care
the
about
question.
the club. You wouldn't take Elise for Rio right now. Forget the club. You
Yeah.
said no to that. That at the
Avi,
market.
Avi, I can't back you on this one.
That's
Sorry, bro.
absolutely ridiculous.
Avi,
Yeah, I wouldn't take it. I wouldn't take it.
Absolutely
I wouldn't
bogus.
take it. I wouldn't take it. Guys, there is something called German tax. Yeah, the Elise numbers, they are a bit fabricated in that league, man. Come on. Fantastic player, a world-class potential talent. But Elise, for me, I don't think he fits us.
Would you take 50 for Rio Chin in the summer?
Oh, it's a lot of money for Rio.
Gina's going to say no.
Regardless of his talent,
50 million,
it's still a
50
lot of money.
50 million is a lot of money. I look, for me, I want players that are right now that are going to fit in.
That's what my philosophy was. That's the
Yeah,
only
so
thing.
for me,
I don't think he's class.
50 million pounds is a lot of money.
money.
And if it means, if I can use that to go and bring in somebody that's going to fit, I'd do it.
But you know what? The only thing that makes me think no is Cole Palmer, because look.
I was just about to
City
say to you, about to say to
look,
you.
how much would you be absolutely devastated if Rio went to, I don't know, let's just think, a Villa in the summer, and he played and he exploded into this unbelievable wide forward who's got 20 GA in him at the age of 18, 19. You'd think, what the hell have we done? But hey ho, it is what it is, isn't it? But I do think there will have to be some giving and taking in the summer, because, all right, hopefully we'll be in the Champions League. But if we want to spend big again this summer, which we clearly have to, I think we're going to have to sell as well.
Ben, can I ask you a question?
Go for it.
Why are we asking so nicely these days?
You know why? It's because you two were whoppers in the week, and now we've decided to behave ourselves. Now Chine's back to.
No, I don't feel like fighting with Avi when he doesn't have his camera on.
He loses every debate anyway.
I
want to ask you a question because I know how much of a fan of this player you are.
Okay.
If we receive a £30 million for Conor Bradley this summer, would you take it?
I'll take 20 million for fuck's sake.
You take the 20p. Mind 20 million. £30 million.
Yes, I probably would. But the caveat would be, I think Conor Bradley is a perfectly adequate squad player. And I think you do need squad players in there. But I think that we can definitely upgrade in that position without a doubt. So if there's an opportunity to bring in a top class first choice right back, like for example, a Tino Livramento, for example, who I think has got the potential to become a
brilliant player,
top player, then I think having Conor Bradley as an offset for him I'd be fine with that. But if you're on about him being the first choice, then I think that limits us. So yeah, I probably would take 30.
In my opinion, Liverpool will upgrade in the right back area in the summer.
What do you think that means? Frimpong is going to be more of a wide forward. He almost replaces Chiesa.
Hopefully he'll be sold.
Yeah. No, he won't be sold.
Frimpong?
He won't be sold. Frimpong won't be sold.
Frimpong's a huge asset.
Let's be honest, Frimpong is homegrown as well.
Yeah. Frimpong's a huge asset. I think he's been a really, really smart signing. If he'd have been fit all season, what is he? I think his games to assist goals ratio must be superb, because he got like 4 or 5 assists and goals when he first came back off his injury. I think he's devastating when he's a real weapon.
Asim, would you take Jed Spence then, who can play on the left as well, obviously?
Pedro Porro might be a realistic target if Spurs go down.
Yeah, that's a good shot as well. Yeah.
No.
You don't like? Okay.
I think Jed Spence is a decent player. Don't get me wrong.
He's one of your brothers as well. He's a brother.
Yeah, well, that look. Yeah, I know, but I want him to be
close brother, isn't he? But that don't make no difference.
I want him to be Liverpool first team quality. I don't care what he is first, but yeah, and he's a good player. I like him, but I want a proper right back.
So a quick yes or no around the table before we go then. Camavinga 50 million. Would we say yes or no?
I take a punt.
Gene? Yep.
If we can't get Anderson, go for Camavinga. That's what I would say.
I get why you said that, yeah.
I think that's where I land as well. My problem with Camavinga is that I've got no interest this summer in risks. I want plug and play.
Yeah.
I think we've had a summer of transition. We have another summer of transition. Then you just like so that's why I'd rather have the proven quality.
Yeah. Guys, I'm gonna have to leave.
Yeah, let's call it a day.
Guys,
I'm gonna have to leave.
Over and out. Take care. We're back on Sunday. Join us for that one.
People.
And